Hello, my name is Tori Johnson, and this is going to be my self-evaluation final speech exam. So, I'm going to be summarizing, touching on a little bit of information from my second speech, which was my informative speech. And in this speech, I touched on some historical context or historical events. Two primary ones were the Tuskegee syphilis experiment and the sterilization of African American women, and how that racism has served as a catalyst for many adverse health outcomes today, and how those adverse health outcomes have created medical mistrust among healthcare facilities and African Americans today, which made them more vulnerable to the COVID-19 virus, more susceptible to the COVID-19 virus, and more likely to refrain from treatment from the COVID vaccine, and just like going to get everyday checkups and everything like that. With this speech, I believe that one thing that I did well was the background information. I did a lot of research for this speech, and I feel like that was displayed whenever I was touching on different topics and how I had resources and citations to back it up. One thing that I would say that I struggled with this speech is that since there was so much information to recall, I found myself looking at my notes or looking at my speech more to make sure that I didn't leave anything out. So I feel that maybe I should have just did more practice on my part of memorizing and everything like that. This speech compared to my first one, I feel that I did much better in my first speech just because it didn't have as much background information or as much recalling or outside sources, since I was kind of like accepting an award in the first one. So the only person that I had to rely on for information was myself, really. One thing that I would like to improve with future speeches is just being able to hold eye contact with the audience, not having to look at my notes ever so often, including more literary devices so that I'm able to grab the audience's attention. Try and working on how I articulate, because there are many times where I find myself, I think, rushing through my speeches, which causes me to stutter or mispronounce words. And lastly, just being able to really memorize my speech so I don't have to, look at my notes as often. And yeah.